This is Retro Power, an unassuming looking shed in rural England, which is home to a company that builds some of the most bespoke, crazy, and interesting resto mods that you can ever imagine. Think the Singer 911, but for any car on earth that you want.
And while there to shoot an episode of the Cream podcast, we were invited on a tour by Retro Power's founders, brothers Callum and Nat. And we started with one of their hero pieces, the least boring, most boring car on earth.
I reckon it's probably one of the cars we're most proud of that we've built. Outwardly it was a Austin Allegro, but the entire underpinnings of it are DC2 Integra Type R.
For those of you that don't know, these cars aren't well loved. I mean, I hate them.
It's an all aggro. It normally comes in this colour, driven by old people. They're not that well loved.
I've never liked them, but this is just cool. Also, well, mainly the wheels and the engine package just make this thing sit incredibly.
We've been headlining most of the stuff about it as how do we make the world's worst car into the world's best.
And it's worked. It's worked, because I hate these with a passion. We'll get into it later, but the interior, for me, that's one of my favourite things on custom cars. Cars of this sort of ilk is incredible. There is a whole studio upstairs that is dedicated to designing and then creating these interiors. Like all of this, like custom leather done on the dashboard, custom elements done everywhere.
The whole dashboard is made from scratch. So the whole dashboard is our own design, 3D printed.
That's ridiculous. These are like classic Recaro seats from the kind of correct era, but redone.
Volume control down there, so it's got an Audison sound system with Morel speakers in it.
This is part of the reason why we wanted to come here, because every little detail is important. You can see like the 205 GTI seats that we did with the little embroidered things. That's flavours that we love to try and do ourselves, but much more shit. What was the time from concept to result?
2 years.
So 2 years start to finish, which I think is quite impressive for such a ridiculous project. It's not an engine swap and a custom interior.
It's a little bit more than that, yeah. And we built two of them. So there's another one. Yeah, there's another one hiding somewhere. Where is the other one? It's under a cover. Oh, there.
That colour on that. I know the hearing aid beige is part of the joke. But that's cool. I really like that. So I came here before for Car Throttle, and every time I'd look at something and go, what's that going to become? Like, is that going to be a Veyron-engined Mark 1 Golf? Who knows?
That's a relatively sensible one in the making. It's actually been paused at the minute, but it's a Rotrex supercharged 20 valve that's going in that.
Okay, that's pretty normal. That's pretty standard.
Gordon Murray approached us about building the Escort, which a lot of people found out about us because of. The curve went from like a gradual upward curve to like.
Did he just approach you out of the blue, or was there a connection?
Yeah,
so he just
and a lot of people think
blue.
that we must have like pursued him or something, but no, he literally.
An email from Mr. G. Murray.
And then literally he just walked through the door and was like, "Oh, I hear you muck around with Escort, so quite fancy one."
What was the engine in? It wasn't a
Duratec.
It was a Duratec.
Yeah.
Next was this custom-built Jensen Interceptor. That was an engine from what sort of, is that a Challenger?
So yeah, Challenger Charger, I guess from sort of 2015, 2016 era, something like that. I don't know what year they stopped using that engine. Probably 2022 would be my guess, something like that. So yeah, it's kind of a modern interpretation because of course these had a Chrysler V8 originally, so it's Mopar Group, so it seems a bit more authentic than using an LS, which is what a lot of people do in these. We've intentionally gone quite understated. It's always kind of reading the room and working out what the client wants, and he never wanted it as a show car. It wasn't like a look at me, I've got an amazing hot rod engine bay. So we just wanted it to look OEM, like this car always had that engine in it. So, but that involves all of the fabrication detail, so things like where those aircon pipes go through, that little fabricated plinth with the bulkhead connectors, that was all fabricated in to make it look like it should be there.
You're basically just redesigning a car
at
that stage. You are just stripping it down and going, right, how do we rebuild it, but better, but without the billions that a manufacturer might have? There was simply too much to look at, and between a custom Camaro, a Jaguar Mark II that had its entire roof reshaped and lowered, and Nat's personal Range Rover Classic, which was getting an LS swap, it was time to go into the metal fabrication room where the beginnings of 3 new projects were starting to take shape. But not before Callum had a challenge for us.
Bet you won't guess what that one is.
Now, for a minute, I thought you were pointing at the air compressor.
Yeah, you probably won't guess what that is either.
It almost looks like one of those Subaru XT things.
You're in the right country and the right
Citroen
era.
DX or something. Okay.
No, you're Japanese and of the right era. It says a Sunny ZX Coupe.
Oh, cool. Yeah, wow, with the
that we've done like
crazy
box splinters and shit on it. Yeah.
Now here is a car that you definitely won't see at Retro Power anytime soon, but if you are buying a car sometime soon, you should always run a car vertical check.
That's right, because every single day, hundreds of cars get crashed, stolen, or clocked. For instance, in my case, the guys at Retro Power have made some nice additions to my number plate. That might be a write-off. But some people will repair those written off cars and try to pass them off as good, clean ones. But with the Car Vertical Report, you can find out that shady history.
All you need is the car's VIN, or you can use the car's registration number, and a Car Vertical Report will tell you if that car has been crashed, stolen, or clocked. I was about to say.
Yeah. So take my E36 here. We've pulled up the Car Vertical app, which they have now, which is quite cool. You can download it on your phone, and it has on here the E36 316i. It's kind of putting me to shame explaining that it's not an M3. But more importantly, we do have green ticks for mileage, finance, damage, and theft. And also, we've got the Car Vertical score here, which when we click on it, will tell us how the car's being used and give a good overall view as to the condition of the car.
Now here we have an actual BMW M3, an E92 M3, in white as well, but it's not looking so good. We've got yellow markers for mileage and for damage, and if we scroll down, we even have some photos of that damage, and as we can see, it's had a pretty hefty front end smash. The rear all looks good, nice colour as well, in white. Also looks like it's a DCT car as well, but as you can see from the photos, it has been in the crash. And if we keep scrolling down, we can see that the mileage hasn't gone down or anything, but for a 2-year period, this car just didn't move at all. So if you see this car up for sale looking absolutely brand spanking new with a clean title, with a Car Vertical Report, you can find out all of this shady past.
So next time that you're buying a car, van, or motorbike, A, take it to Retro Power, but B, make sure that you run a Car Vertical check to make sure the price you pay for it matches its history.
And as an added bonus, Car Vertical are offering you guys 20% off when you use our code 2DC. So support the channel, use that code. Now back to Retro Power.
Back in the workshop, Callum showed us a 5-cylinder turbo, 4-wheel drive Saab 900.
Basically, he wanted a shitload of power and a really mad wide-bodied interpretation. And we were like, well, if you want shitloads of power, it can't stay front-wheel drive. It's got to be rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and if we've got a blank canvas, we might as well make it four-wheel drive. So then we were like, well, could we use the floor pan from something that has a decent four-wheel drive platform? Wanted an H-pattern manual box in it, so we were like, well, B7 S4 had a 6-speed manual before they all went flappy paddles and stuff.
When Callum says the floor pan, he doesn't just mean he's swapping the engine from one car into another. They've actually taken the bottom part of the Audi's chassis and grafted it onto what's left of the Saab's chassis. In fact, Retro Power say that the only thing that will be left of the original Saab is the scuttle panel, the pillars, and the roof. Everything is so custom that the cars have to be registered as new cars because there's no longer enough of the original car left.
He wanted it turbo, like he was like, it has to be turbo. And I was like, well, fair enough. But I didn't want a twin turbo V8 in it because that just seemed ridiculous, and packaging it and heat management and almost too much. So then we were like, well, what sounds? He wanted it to sound amazing. I reckon the 5-cylinder sounds better than the V8 personally. That's how it became a 5-cylinder turbo 4x4 Saab 900. So this one is an Aston Martin DBS, 1970s one, and it's more or less a scratch build underneath. So this customer basically wanted a reinterpretation of a DBS that could do really decent, comfortable cruising around Europe and UK and the rest of it. And although I'm going to annoy the Aston people here, if you actually look at all the underpinnings of the original car, it's complete shit. It's just not up to the job at all. So the whole of the chassis on this is our own design that we've literally CAD designed, fabricated from nothing.
So of the original car, at the end of it, what will be there?
Yeah, the glass. This guy wants it to look very standard, so we're trying to keep it, apart from going bigger wheels to cope with the brakes, so that's dictated that we're going to go 17-inch on the wheels, but we've rendered it with loads of different sizes and concluded that 17 is the limit. If you go to 18, it just starts to look too modern.
These are so cool. So these are a way of basically working out what offset and what size of wheel you can run within the tyre, mounting it to the car to work it out. I've always wanted a set of these for no reason. Not that we do anything that warrants the ability to do it, but that's just cool. Also, I do want to notice just the Datsun up on top. Yeah. Two very opposite things. We've got a Jag E-Type, or what was one at some point, and then this. What is this?
Oh, it doesn't look like it in this stage. It's a Mini. It's a Mini pickup, but with a Chevy LS3 transverse in the back.
Just heard 600 kilos and around 500 or 600 horsepower as well.
Yeah. It's pretty close to 1,000 horsepower per ton.
With a seating position, that's just offset.
I like the little. And then this is was an E-Type, is an E-Type.
Yeah, basically build the ultimate E-Type was the gist, and it's a Series 3 Roadster. Started with a Series 3 because they're a lot longer, so it's more spacious inside. But then basically everything's changed. So like the whole rear bodywork, we've redesigned all of that. made in steel, but we CAD designed it first. We've done a full carbon bonnet for it, which is actually over in the blasting room. There is so much James Bond stuff on this car, it is unreal. So, for instance, the doors, they're just mock-up hinges at the minute, but basically we've changed the hinge axis so they open slightly upwards as they come open, so because it looks cool. But then he also wanted them electrically opening. So we've got a Tesla rack and pinion assembly in the door pillar that electrically opens the doors. And then there's an actuator in here, so the number plate can be flipped up. So when you select reverse, the plate comes up so the reverse camera can see, but when you're driving normally, the plate hides it away so there's nothing ugly on the back. We're making the mirrors. They're going to be machined from billet. The mirror's also incorporating a proximity sensor, so when you electrically open the door, if there's something next to you, it won't open the door into it, but when it opens, there'll be a nav screen in there. And then we design the shape of it so that the B surface of that perfectly fills the gap between the screen and the outer when it's open.
And this seat is staying.
Yeah. They are actually going to be based on those MX-5 seats. We're going to reshape the foams and stuff, obviously, but there is actually a really good reason to use MX-5 seats, and they're one of the few seats where the metalwork of the base drops between the runners. So you can get the base of the seat as low as you possibly can to a given floor.
This makes me feel bad about the TVL work that we did. Well, sorry, that I did. No, I just had an ECU hanging below the dash. My favourite wheel. Compo Motive MLs. There's also an engine in a trolley.
Oh yeah, that's the Ferrari V6, yeah.
As you do. The one other car in this room is the epic BMW E9 Coupe, which is essentially being rebuilt from the ground up. Engine-wise, it's getting an S54 engine from the BMW E46 M3, but that's been done before. Not very retro power. No, Callum and Nat decided that the E9 wouldn't handle well enough, so they are completely re-engineering the car to have the front suspension and steering from an E30 M3, and then the rear end from both an E34 and an E28 5 Series.
This is kind of my, well, it would sound way too poncy to say boardroom, but it's basically a meeting room.
So this is where clients will come in and choose what they want to do?
Yeah, basically. I can chat through like design ideas and stuff with them. That was the idea. What it is right now is a safe storage place for all of this.
Even that, the screws.
Yeah.
It's clear that what really sets Retro Power apart is their attention to detail, and a big part of that is their CAD team. They use 3D renders of their designs before even starting fabrication to ensure everything fits together properly.
See, what we like to do is we like to just buy the wrong wheel and then pull the arch to make it fit. Ben, you know about that. You're on your S2000, right? Yeah. So we continue to the rest of the workshop, seeing their 3D printers and their incredible organisation, which made us a little bit jealous. This is a lot like TDC storage unit. Will, would you agree?
Yeah, sure. Except this one's in boxes and organised.
Except we just don't have the racks or the boxes.
After that, we headed next door to the Den to see even more unique custom classics.
Right, so we're now here at the Den, which is the sister company to Retro Power. It's also where the upholstery is done upstairs. We've already had a quick tour. Some cool stuff in here. Some we can't show you, unfortunately. Customer cars.
Oh, we'll have to have a look.
We're also going to do a podcast here later. We used to do the podcast on this channel, on the 2DC channel. It is now on its own channel called Cream, Cars Roll Everything Around Me podcast on YouTube or Spotify. So you can find that there if you've been missing it, couldn't find it. But this is cool.
I thought it was black. It's just a very dark blue.
This is
really, really nice.
This is an R31 Skyline. So before the R32 GTR, this was the top, the big cheese, the top guy, and he had this, which was a flip out. When you got up to a certain speed, the lower spoiler would flip out and give you better aero. I'd never buy one because they're so much money.
Yeah.
But they're cool. Also, look at those lights. They look like a DJ turntable or something. So the purpose of the Den is to be a lighter restoration sort of workshop rather than the in-depth fabrication that goes on at the main Retro Power site. This is an example of one of them. Apparently, a customer from Spain decided, yeah, I'd like to do some bits and bobs on my Merc SEC. Look at the wheels on this. This has made me feel things that I wasn't expecting to feel today.
So they're doing a few bits, updating it with sort of Apple CarPlay and a few other bits, bringing it up to spec, but still also lowering it, wheels.
This is TDC.
That's TDC. Well, I think we sit somewhere way below.
This is TDC, but good. Suzuki Cappuccino, the part of the ABC family, the AutoZam AZ1, the Honda Beat, and the Suzuki Cappuccino. Little 3-cylinder turbo. Look at the smallest, look at the turbo size on that one.
That is, what in heavens? That is, you could take all the coil packs out with one hand.
What is this, a turbo for ants? If you do some bits and bobs to these, you can push them up to like 150 horsepower.
Following on from that was this very special MG.
This MG Metro belongs to a previous Cream podcast guest, Richard Porter.
Richard Porter, ex-Top Gear writer and Grand Tour.
He has bought this very cool, super low mileage MG Metro Turbo. I believe he's getting a light restoration to go back on the road. This is very cool. Mike Fernie's somewhere going...
You can smell it. They were a bit of a joke car as an old people's car, but there are a couple of cool versions of it, and this is one of them.
Upstairs of the den, not only is there a quite cool podcast studio, we're very jealous of this. This is what we want TDC to be, except our rafters are full of spiders and dead crows.
And hornets.
Yeah, and lots of hornets. Look at the upholstery workshop. Normal shop, you reupholster the seat. An upholstered pull for where you pull the seat. That's little details that just make it.
It's all like better than factory.
It's all lovely. This.
It's all lovely. This.
Oh, it's all lovely. This.
I want that. I don't know why, but I want reels of leather. Real.
I only learned this somewhat recently. Leather, and if you would like suede, you must skin a cow and turn it inside out.
Inside out cow. You have to grow them like that.
It's a Henry XL Plus.
Yo, sorry. That's a big Henry.
Henry been munching.
These are seats as well.
These are seats.
It's from a Porsche of some sort.
Seat,
but there's secret things around here that's cool. These are from the Allegro. These are from the other one, the orange car. Also those, whatever they are for or from, I'd like them to be in my car. We'll end on a bonus point if you can get what car that's from. There we have it. That is the entire tour of Retro Power. We were here for a podcast. We thought, why not film it and do a little walk around? I'm quite glad we did. There was some cool
plenty
stuff
to look at.
And next time we do an event, a TDC or a food and fuel, something like that, I think we'll see if they can bring something down.
There will be an invite in the post.
Perhaps a Quattro, a short wheelbase Quattro would be good.
Cool. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to see another video where we went to Monterey, I don't know if we've ever mentioned that before, but we went to Monterey. So if you want to see the video where we went to Monterey, all three of us, then that'll be here, and we'll see you next week.